One of these days, Obama is going to call Jon Favreau and say, take care of those three. I've had it. Take care of those three. Welcome to Keep It, Cricket Media's show about pop culture and politics and what happens when they smack into each other at an alarming speed. I'm your host, Ira Madison III. I'm a television writer and Fall Out Boy fan.
I'm Virtel. I'm a TV writer and Jane Fonda historian.
And I'm Aida Osman. I'm a TV writer and alleged comedian.
Let's get into it. You asked. We've got answers. Time for the mailbag, you jive turkeys.
Okay. Ira.
I love the phrase jive turkeys, and I truly wish I could just bring it back.
It's so absurd. Who thought of it in the first place? The idea of a turkey jiving, it's exactly right.
Aaron wants to know, what's the deal with Thanksgiving music? Is there a definitive Turkey Day album? What should we be playing at dinner?
God. Well, I mean, we talked about this before with the TV episodes, but it really is the moment in which Christmas music is actually most welcome. Because when you're listening to it on Christmas Day, it feels so on the nose and like, oh, well, enjoy this while it lasts. You have another 12 hours of this before you never want to hear it for another 360 days or whatever. So on Thanksgiving, it only feels right that you would listen to Christmas music, which is unfortunate. Again, I want the holiday to have self-esteem. I'm sorry it has to be this way, but...
Turkey lurkey time?
Oh, yeah, that? Sure.
Boo. I feel like, okay, unlike Christmas music, I think you're right, Lewis. You could go that way. But the other way is I don't need my Thanksgiving music to actually be about the content of the holiday. Like, I don't want turkey anything, potato anything in the lyrics of a song. I'm going to put on a Mac DeMarco. I'm going to put on a Carole King. I'm going to put on a Tennis if I'm feeling white.
Okay, Tennis.
I'm going to put on...
I'm always feeling white.
Ira, we well aware. Tennis, first of all. But if I'm feeling black, I'm going to put on Seat at the Table. Yeah, Solange meant a metaphorical seat at the table, but I might also be happening to sit at a table eating with my black family, so I'm going to put on Seat at the Table while I eat my pumpkin pie. But that's it. There's no real Thanksgiving soundtrack music or music that should mention anything about, what are you going to talk about? The Pilgrims? What are you going to talk about?
I am an early Christmas music adopter. Weirdly, I haven't this year as much. I do listen to Christmas Time by John Legend and Mariah Carey on repeat. I kind of maybe love that song more than All I Want for Christmas Is You. For me, cooking goes hand in hand with Thanksgiving, you know? Like the tradition was always my family driving down to Elkhart, Indiana, at my great-grandmother's house. And, like she's cooking all day. My grandmother's helping. My mom's helping. I'm helping in the kitchen too. And for older black folks, like cooking music is like Tony Braxton, You're listening to like some Mary J. Blige, maybe some like Aaliyah for the younger folks, So like Thanksgiving music is just like black music.
Yeah.
You just put on some like 90s R&B or maybe even like throw it back to like some Donny Hathaway, some like soul music, like that is my Thanksgiving vibe.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun. You're very Sirius XM The Groove. Some New Jack Swing on your holiday.
I'm Jimmy Jammin', okay?
Let's just ask Obama for a Thanksgiving playlist and he'll put Home by Philip Phillips 20 times.
One of these days, Obama is going to call Jon Favreau and say, take care of those three. I've had it. Take care of those three.
Not bad. Not bad for you. I enjoyed that impression.
Thank you. We're in a thankful time. Lewis congratulated one of my impersonations.
Oh, yeah,
friends.
no.
That's
something
history.
has come over me.
Friends.
Yeah. Brant asks, would you rather have Thanksgiving dinner with the Roys from Succession or the Mackenzie Wright Klein Carlson families from Big Little Lies?
Do you think I remember the names of anyone in Big Little Lies? I call them Nicole, Meryl, Renata, yeah. I know, and Jane, and Reese. So the Roys, obviously.
Of course. At least I know they'll let me sit with them, for sure.
Yeah.
But you think that food's going to be better? Oh, because it'll be catered, though. It will be catered.
Point.
Yeah,
Either way, it will
it'll
be
be
catered,
catered.
but it's a selection of what they're going to get catered. I feel like Succession family is going to give us like a really hearty meat and potatoes, maybe a Slavic thing going on. But I'm going to get something maybe French from the Big Little Lies peoples and Southern cuisine. Ooh, actually, nope, I rescind. I'm going to the Merrill family on Big Little Lies.
Listen, you know I just want to be sitting next to Kendall Roy, asking him if he wants more gravy. He can have mine.
But not bringing up that performance in the Chicago 7. Woof.
We're not going to do this now, Lewis.
Let's fight about this.
No,
in
I
every
love
single
that
podcast.
performance.
Every single podcast.
That Mad TV-esque performance. Okay.
They were giving you Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. Okay.
Oh my God! I need to be giving you a lobotomy if you think that's what he was giving.
Oh, wait. Lewis, did you answer?
Oh, sure. There would be 2 meals filled with, I believe, passive aggression. I think Nicole Kidman does her best work sitting at a table looking bothered. So I at least get that theater the entire time. So I am going to take Big Little Lies on this one.
I'm asking Ashley's question because her name is spelled exactly like my sister's name, Ashlee.
Like Ashley Simpson, yes.
Yes. Which helps because our last name is Madison. It's not spelled like Ashley Madison. Ashley wants to know what Thanksgiving side do you say keep it to? And then also, what's our favorite side? I want to go first by saying I still get mad whenever white people claim that macaroni and cheese is a Thanksgiving side. That is a main course.
Yeah. And not only that, they don't put it in the oven. That's how I know that there's like a fight to be had.
Right. When they're like, oh, it's not a good side, like macaroni and cheese doesn't belong at the Thanksgiving table. That's one of the last tweets I saw before I left that hell site. And I'm like, of course it doesn't belong at the dinner table if you are mixing craft on the stovetop.
Right. I really even enjoy the dish that mac and cheese comes in. It's like just deep enough. It's pleasing to look at. I like the drizzle of whatever spices you put on top of it.
The panko coat, yes. Well, I have an obvious controversy that I'm just going to bring up to get out of the way. I don't know how the hell that gelatinous cranberry shit found a way into tradition as far as Thanksgiving is concerned. It's one of the most disgusting thing I've ever had. I don't
You like
the way
cranberry sauce?
Ew, I don't like the way it holds the shape of the can. Don't hold
That's
the shape
anti-black.
of the can. I know. And I feel like we actually had this same conversation last year about this exact thing, but I still hate it. Nothing has budged. And I don't understand how people pair it with their turkey. Oh my
It
God.
really
I'm
is shocking. It's a holdover from like the 50s and 60s too. I was acquainted with some stat that I think some point in the early 60s, the average American ate 4 boxes of Jell-O a year. So I was going to actually say, as a dessert, anything in addition to the cranberry sauce, anything Jell-O related. When I read about food from the 1950s, it just, the temperature of it, the squishiness of it, the bright Crayola colors of it. It's a repulsive trick we played on ourselves for decades. And it should be, we put Bill Cosby away. All Jell-O-related products should also be put away.
It makes sense that is a holdover from like the 50s because every time I see an old like 50s, 60s cookbook, I'm always amazed at the like random foods that are paired together. Like were they just were housewives just experimenting? Like it's right? Like the search for tomorrow wasn't interesting enough.
They inhaled so much bleach, they were like, yeah, this will work. This isn't wartime. Like, we don't have to eat $1.50 of cranberry poop. Like, it's so gross.
It really is gross.
I do prefer the canned cranberry sauce, though, to homemade. Sorry. It's so good.
You know what? The most Midwestern thing about me is that I think my favorite side is corn. I mean, it reminds me of growing up, but I think I like it just way more than the average person, period.
I believe we call it maize, Lewis.
Oh, all right. Samoset or Squanto or whomever. Yeah. That fake-ass story. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
How old were you all when you realized that, like, that story was made up?
Well, I sort of gathered that it was all...
That's why I said 23.
Just making up stories about Native Americans.
Yeah.
like
and making us
happy
do it.
ones.
coloring books about them.
Yeah, they were like Native American Uncle Bens.
Right. No, I mean, it literally is like that parody scene in Airplane where Julie Haggerty goes to Africa and she like brings Tupperware containers for the tribal people. Like, what did we think was occurring between these two people? Like, they just met and were nice. That was it. No takeover at all.
And they had Tupperware for some reason.
Multiple people have asked if we would ever run for office. No!
Ira?
What are these
Or
questions?
Lewis?
If any of us would run for office.
Nobody wants that yet. My brain's not ready.
No, I would love to be a Jackie, though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. I went through like
Political
8
husband.
Jackies. Yeah.
A political husband.
Well, I'm going to find my way into AOC's heart so I can be second lady at some point. We'll figure that out.
If I ran for office, I mean, the speed at which my nudes would fly out into the world would be
Oh my
so
God.
shocking. I mean,
Lewis, I would drop them. I would. As a campaign poster, first of all.
Aida showing up and airdropping them to everyone at your announcement rally.
Yeah, please let me run your campaign. The PR would be insane.
That's why Buttigieg didn't advance and get the nomination, Lewis. We needed the nudes.
We wanted that booty, Judge, and we didn't get it.
I bet it's flat but firm
Yeah, I'm sure.
because he's been in the military. You know what I mean?
Anonymous wants to know, how do you deal with your boyfriend's brother's girlfriend who you can't stand?
Excuse
Okay.
me? You're what?
They are the only people of color, significant others, dating very white men. Well, that's the problem, girl. Anytime they hang out, she'll waste a ton of food. She's gluten-free, but always gets a ton of food with gluten, takes 2 bites, and then throws it away, and then nudges the brother that it's time to go. She won't talk to anyone. She just sits there tapping her acrylic nails on her phone and always makes sure to pour herself a generous serving of the good wine, not the shitty shit she always brings. If we do a potluck, her dish sits in front of her and double dips, so like, what the fuck? No one wants that. And the Anonymous has a sixth sense that she's pregnant and they are going to announce it at Thanksgiving. My question is, why is your family gathering?
Right. See,
Stay home. Stay home. That's
That
the
too.
answer. Stay
That's the issue.
home. Can I tell you that there are a lot of very reasonable people online who've been doing their whole, like, you need to stay home, you need to be careful about COVID thing all year, and now randomly they're going home for Thanksgiving? How does that work out?
No.
I mean, that person does sound insufferable. I have one friend in general who years and years ago, I think had an in-law that was like constant, like they dreaded it. And what she did, I think this person was like a monologuer too, like always took up like talking all the time. She said she would just stop listening and walk out of the room when she did that. But like if you do it without flinching, it doesn't seem rude. You just like had somewhere to go. Just do it and pretend like there was nothing to be ashamed of.
Exactly. And also there's like something to be said about just like learning how to ignore people too. I have an aunt whose name I haven't even decided to learn because I hate her so much. Like you can just go to this dinner and pretend she doesn't exist. Like create a world for yourself where this woman is not there. It doesn't matter. You don't have to eat her dish. Don't look at her throwing that food away and wasting her food. Like just try and focus on your boyfriend and your boyfriend's brother and the rest of the family and just ignore her. Also, if she's pregnant, maybe she's has morning sickness. Like, is this a long-term thing? I do have some questions. Like, I am worried about it too. Maybe she's not a bitch. Maybe she's in her first trimester. So,
Arguably your most sympathetic read to date.
I know, yeah. Shit.
I don't even know this woman now.
We have one last question from Izzy.
Oh,
Izzy,
Katie Heigl?
Yes, straight
That's
from
what I
Seattle
thought, too.
Grace. What is your favorite thing about each of your co-hosts?
Okay,
Oh,
bye.
great
It's been a
question.
great show. You know how
been a
many
great
messages I get? So many messages that are like, "You don't like Lewis." I'm like, "What? I worship that man. What are you talking about?"
Aw.
But I feel like it's one of those because I am constantly haranguing, and I love to do that. That people don't understand there is genuine love here.
Oh my
Lewis
God.
is a genius who rattles off facts at a rate that is not even processable to the human brain, first of all. He's like a hummingbird of a human. So there's that. And then we're both very, very funny. Ira is hilarious. And I feel so fortunate to get to talk and be around you guys and spend a lot of my like formative young adult years having conversations with you guys because first of all, I don't get that with people my age, one. And two, I'm learning so much. So I get to be around dope human beings every Tuesday. And I just feel fortunate. I feel fortunate. And lock this feeling into your brain because it will never come back ever again.
All right. I've stored it. I'm now reliving it constantly.
Also, one more thing I want to add about Ira is that we both have the very particular experience of being Black people in the Midwest. So we share a lot of the same interests and I think gripes about things. And that's also rare to find. So, yes, I feel at home here.
Aw.
I keep it.
Thank you.
Well, all right. I'll go second. Okay, Aida first. Well, Aida and I always, shall we say, sign on first when it's time to do the podcast. And we always like chat a little bit beforehand. I mean, Aida fills me with so much fucking endorphins. Like it's so, the humor is so, one, always unexpected, two, occasionally snarky, but mostly just like full of fun. It's just a blast to talk to Aida. Her tweets, I mean, shocking and hilarious every time. I'm truly in awe of I'll call it a gift, but we all know it's a sickness what is flowing through you.
I'd say I miss them, but people send them to me regularly.
And as for Ira, I have to say, I mean, I always bring this up when it comes to Ira, but just the level of knowledge is second to none. I really, he's in my top tier of people who just like no shit period, aren't faking it. Also, if you tell Ira to watch a movie, he watches it fucking immediately. He does not procrastinate on it. So I love the voraciousness with which he consumes pop culture. And also, he's just my actual friend. So I see him every fucking weekend.
Aww. Well, I would say Lewis. Lewis is actually a lot more sweetly sensitive than people would think. You know?
Oh, I think that's probably true. Yeah.
You know, you have your robotic exterior and you know all these facts, but at its core, you know, Lewis just wants a hug.
See?
Aww.
And I love him. He's great.
Thank you.
And Aida, I love seeing you just like thriving, you know, like you're a young Black woman who's come to Hollywood and you said, you know what, I'm going to do it. It's so funny when we record and you honestly like for as hilarious and like raunchy and wild and like deranged as your humor will be, you're also just very empathetic and caring. And I noticed that in how you check in on people in your life and how you check in on like our guests, you know? Yeah. I still remember the time that you asked like Ronan Farrow, like how he was doing, you know, in the midst of like all the reporting. Or even like asking Adam Brody like about being a dad, you know, like you just care and it exudes from you.
Oh my God, are we in love? Are we in love? Is this love?
This throuple. Oh no.
You know, every time we take the show in this direction, people are like, y'all are too nice.
Oh,
and
right.
Yet,
we do get that.
And yet there's always someone who says, I've been a Keep It listener since day one. And this thing you said this episode, 155 episodes in, is the last straw. You were too mean.
People want us to be like acrid. Like there should be some bitterness there, but it can't run into meanness. I'm sorry, guys. I'm full of extremes. I contain multitudes.
We're a lot nicer than we were in 2018.
Oh, God, I wonder where the fuck that is.